Good evening, traveler of stories and steady breath. Settle into your pillow, let your shoulders release their quiet grip on the day, and allow your eyelids to soften like curtains drawn against the last light. Tonight we wander slowly, unhurried and unafraid, to a bright ribbon of desert that glows even in moonlight, where an old river once swelled with summer silt, and where three great triangles of stone keep their patient watch. The wind is gentler here than you might expect, carrying a delicate grainy scent, sun-baked limestone, a hint of dust, and the memory of distant water. Breathe in, breathe out. We are going beneath the pyramids, not to chase a loud mystery, but to drift through the quiet ones, the ones that live in stone and shadow and the steady heartbeat of the earth itself. Imagine you're standing at Giza in the hush after sunset. The sky is indigo and vast, the kind of sky that seems to lean closer when you look up. The pyramids sit on their plateau, their edges softened by the hour. Tourists have gone. The lights in nearby Cairo flicker like a scattered necklace. From the sands rises a faint warmth that lingers even after the sun has gone, as if the day has soaked into every grain and refuses to leave. You step closer, and every footfall answers with a muffled thud, because the ground here is not loose and drifting but the top of a buried world. The pyramids we know so well, Khufu's great mountain of stone, Khafre's proud geometry with its crown of casing near the top, Menkaur's smaller, warmer-toned companion, are only the rooftops of a much deeper story. We will go below that story now, one breath at a time. The bedrock at Giza is old limestone, layered over time when this place was the floor of a shallow sea. If you hold a piece of that stone, you might find tiny spirals and coins of ancient shells, called nummulites, little fossils that once swam where now there is sky. The builders of the pyramids knew this rock intimately. They quarried it in neat, clever slices. They read its layers like pages, and they cut into it, not just for blocks, but to make rooms and corridors that belong as much to the living earth as to any palace. When we speak about what is hidden beneath the pyramids, we are not only speaking of tombs and treasure, we are speaking of geology and engineering, of ways through stone. Close your eyes and picture the Great Pyramid, the largest of the three. Now, with your mind's hands, lift its base as if it were a lid. Beneath the north face is a descending passage, angled and unwavering, slipping into the bedrock like a silver thread. Follow it down. Slowly, there's no hurry, and feel the temperature change, a soft coolness wrapping your skin. Here the air moves differently. Sounds arrive without echoes, and the body registers a hush that is both heavy and kind. The passage levels out into a space sometimes called the subterranean chamber, though chamber is a generous word. It is a room unfinished, rough-hewn, a cavern carved into rock. The floor is uneven, the ceiling low enough that the voice, if you spoke, would feel like it has to bend to move around. What is this place? Some say it was the beginning of a plan later abandoned, the first sketch of the king's resting room before the project moved upward into the body of the pyramid. Others imagine it as a symbolic underworld, a deliberate descent into the earth, a place where beginnings stir in the dark. You do not have to decide. You are a listener here. You are the guest of stone. Run your attention along the details. In the center, a pit. In another corner, a niche. Not jewels, not gilded statues, no glittering troves. Only shape and intention. The very quiet of purpose left behind by hands. If you listen closely, the tools are still somewhere in the silence. the memory of copper on limestone, dust floating like snow without winter. People have placed lanterns here, breath fogging their lamps, voices low with the instinct to whisper. The room absorbs even that whisper. It has been absorbing whispers for thousands of nights. Go back up the passage a little way and find the shaft called the well, an abrupt opening that connects the descending path to the rising courses of the pyramid above. It is like a throat between levels, narrow and practical, chiseled in cautious meters, connecting a world below to a world within. If you lay your hand against the wall, the rock is cool and faintly damp. The bedrock remembers water as a story remembers its first line. Here, beneath the pyramid, the earth is not empty. It is ribbed with cracks and seams, with natural fissures widened by those who wanted safe passage for air and for people. There is nothing supernatural about a passage that breathes. Stone breathes too, in its slow way, giving and taking air with the moving pressures of the world. Wander gently to another place on the plateau, where a man-headed lion faces the rising sun. The Sphinx sits as if grown from the bedrock, because in a way it is. Its body was carved from the living rock, shaped rather than assembled, and around it the quarry lines tell their own story. Stair-stepped cuts, channels, and ledges descended into by ancient workers. Beneath the Sphinx, the bedrock carries veins and pockets, some natural, some carved, inspection shafts, drainage channels, niches created to examine or to stabilize, to study the health of the stone and the reach of water. The wind plays around the pause, and below the pause the rock keeps its silence. People have dreamed of vast halls under the Giza Plateau, libraries walled in gold, but the ground is practical. It allows what it can, and what it allows tends to be narrow, purposeful, and sometimes unfinished, like thoughts a mason set aside when the day's light failed. The hidden things are sometimes only the quiet things, the things that take time to see. Consider the causeways that link pyramid temples to the valley below. They stride across the plateau like stone rivers, and beneath them, the bedrock is not idle. Builders dug trenches to anchor their walls, channels to manage the rare but serious water that can move across a desert when storms are sudden. The Nile, not far away, was once wider and more generous in its flood. Imagine its breadth swelling and falling with the seasons. The bottomlands gleamed with wet and reeds, while up here the plateau remained mostly dry, but not always. To protect the sacred and the practical, people made paths below the paths, culverts, sumps, little stony ditches whose whole job was to guide water's ancient impatience into safe passage. Even now, if you put your ear to the ground after a rare rain, perhaps you could hear the gentle, secret murmur of water finding an old channel. Beneath Khafre's pyramid, there are trenches in the bedrock that served as boat pits, long and narrow, meant for the king's vessels of sun and spirit. Even when the boats were not buried there, the bedrock holds their shapes, as if memory had length and width. Nearby at the Great Pyramid, not technically beneath but beside it, long boat pits once held cedar ships disassembled like puzzles waiting for a hand to solve them. The ground is an archive of impressions. Walk across the plateau at night and the soles of your feet can read it. Cut lines, soft lines, the sudden cool of a shaded gully, the faint give of a filled trench. The earth remembers. We drift now deeper into thought and down the plateau to other places the ancients hollowed, places where the underworld of stone blooms into something more like architecture. At Saqqara, south of Giza, Miles and centuries fold together in a staircase of history. There are galleries tunneled beneath the desert there, long corridors lined with niches, the kind of places that make footsteps vanish into velvet. The Serapeum holds massive sarcophagi that seem impossible even now, set with care in chambers reached by an artery of a corridor. We are not here to solve them. We are only here to notice that beneath the desert, the Egyptians were at home. They knew how to let the earth hold weight, how to let stone carry a secret for a long, long time. When we imagine what lies beneath the pyramids, it helps to remember that those who built above also knew how to build below. Their hands moved with the patience of prayer and the certainty of geometry. Close your eyes and picture an artisan, squat lamp by his knee, smoothing a wall with a tool that sang against limestone. Dust gathers along his wrists. He pauses to drink, and the water tastes faintly of stone and clay. His world is this tunnel, this chamber, this edge that must be true and square. The pyramid above may be for a king, a god, a nation's memory. But his part is only an arm's length wide, a hand's width deep. Every hidden space began with that, an arm's length, a hand's width, a line drawn in the mind and then in stone. Do not be surprised to find things that are not finished. The subterranean chamber in the Great Pyramid is one such place, but there are others, test shafts that nibble into bedrock, then stop like interrupted thoughts. In a civilization that spanned dynasties and tastes, plans changed. Engineers adjusted. If groundwater sat where it wasn't expected, a corridor might be rerouted or abandoned. If a layer of stone proved crumbly, if it hissed under the chisel like dry bread, a room might be shifted higher or deeper. The hidden world is full of beginnings and adjustments, like a draft of a poem no one but the poet will ever read. And yet those drafts are precious. They tell us what ideas were tried and set aside. They tell us that the perfect lines above, the polished walls, the crisp angles, were born from 1,000 small decisions made carefully in cool, pale light below. If you keep walking in your mind through the cool passageways, you might notice a particular smell, almost metallic, mixed with dust and lamp smoke. Listen for your own breath echoing the rhythm of the worker's breath from long ago. There is a kinship in that rhythm that the centuries do not erase. Imagine the moment when a worker breaks through to a cavity, a pocket in the rock no one has seen before. The breath catches, the lamp flickers, the space drinks light, then gives it back in careful halves. Even now, when archaeologists ease their way into a sealed void, that hush comes again, that soft animal of silence that curls up in your chest and says, "Remember this." Now drift to a different kind of hidden, the hidden in plain sight. Beneath the pyramid's visible foundation are leveling courses and cut steps in the bedrock, terraces that cradle the lowest stones. If you were to lift the casing and core like a skirt, you would see these prepared layers, smoothed and squared to carry weight evenly. That is a form of beneathness that is not romantic but is deeply beautiful. The beauty of foundation. The ancients shaped the bedrock itself so the pyramid could stand like a locked chord, bass notes below, melody above. The precision is not an accident. The ground was studied, coaxed, persuaded to bear something it had never borne before. The hidden truth, in a way, is this: nothing that large is just placed. It is grown from the earth in 1,000 small alignments, each one an act of attention. If we move within the Great Pyramid again, but this time in imagination through the ascending ways, we pass the tight entrance, then the low corridor that opens suddenly into the grand gallery, a high, corbelled throat of stone that seems almost to sing. Many imagine this when they think of the pyramids inside. The extraordinary climb, the slot-like floor, the steep ramp. But beneath that drama lies the understory of blocks that keep it all in balance. The relieving chambers above the king's chamber, stacked to distribute weight, and the bedrock below the queen's chamber, calmer, less known. For every featured space, a steadiness beneath it. For every visible, a hidden support. It is like breathing. The inhale is noticeable. The exhale does the quiet work. Think now of what is hidden that is not rock at all. The desert's edge carries rumors as easily as the wind carries sand. For centuries people have told stories of secret libraries under the Sphinx, of corridors that lead to star maps, of vaults of lost invention. It is tempting to let a story carry us like a fast river, but tonight we're floating, not racing. Consider why such stories grow here. This is a landscape built to invite questions. It speaks in giant shapes and careful silences. It endures. Anything that endures seems likely to guard something, and because what is above is so overwhelming, the mind assumes the real secret must be below, tucked away from the sun. The truth beneath is often more patient than sensational. It is the human patience that takes a lifetime of mornings and turns them into a single, steady legacy of stone. If you kneel and press your palm to the desert floor, you might feel a faint vibration. Perhaps it is your own pulse meeting the earth's. Perhaps it is the hum of a city not far away, or a breeze moving over sand, or the ancient river turning in its sleep. Beneath the pyramids, the ground is neither hollow nor dense. It is alive with the same slow physics that holds mountains together and lets caves breathe. The hidden world is not a kingdom of miracles. It is a kingdom of patience. Patience is a kind of miracle all its own. There are places beneath Giza where shafts plunge straight down, square and stone-lined, places to inspect, to reach, to test the ground. Lower levels are not always grand rooms. Often they are practical, with footholds cut into their sides, with small ledges where tools rested, with the faintly greasy shine of hands having passed again and again. Some of these shafts end in water or did once, hazily reflecting a lamp's glow. The air feels different near water in stone. It becomes rounder, a little heavier. Sound schemes it and slows. If you ever stand at the edge of such a shaft, you will feel your sense of balance lean forward, as if part of you wants to follow the light into the dark. But you do not have to go down. It is enough to know that people did, long before your breath entered this night, and that what they learned there became part of how a civilization spoke with the earth. Slow your breath. Listen to your own inhale pass like a thread through the needle of your lungs. The desert listens back. If we walk now to the smaller pyramid of Menkaure, its base once dressed in granite that held the sun like embers, we find again the careful cuttings into the bedrock. The builders treated even the lesser pyramid with the same conversation between above and below. This is the hidden rhythm of the plateau. Cut, place, test, adjust, eat, drink, rest, rise and return. The mystery is not only what is hidden beneath. The mystery is how humans kept showing up to do the work, day after day, in heat and in wind, until an idea became a horizon. It is easy to romanticize the silence, but there are other hidden layers too. The noise that once filled these spaces. Chisels clinked. Sledges creaked. Men called to one another in voices blunt and bright. the words clipped and practical. Bring the lamp, move the block, hold, release. The dark spaces under the pyramid rang with these sounds, which meant nothing to the rock but everything to the work. Later, when the corridors were sealed, when the last stone slid into place and the last torch was pinched out, all that sound collapsed into quietness. The rock kept the quiet. Hidden beneath is an archive of silence built on an archive of noise. When you consider what is really hidden beneath the pyramids, you might feel a small disappointment that the answer is not a glittering room of untouched time. But there is another kind of treasure here. It is the witness of material, how limestone was persuaded to carry an idea, how the bedrock became a partner to architecture, how the earth was asked questions and answered them in chambers and shafts, in the sheen of a tool mark, in the blurred print of a hand where water shaped the dust into a ghost of a touch. Hidden below is a record of human intention written in the slow cursive of stone. Let your mind drift farther down the river of time. See the Nile during flood, brown and busy, carrying reed boats and crocodiles and gossip. The flood recedes, leaving a dark silken gift in the fields. The plateau dries and brightens. Workers return to the cut and the carry. Underground, the coolness holds, the half-made room waits to be finished or to be abandoned. Not everything must be completed to be meaningful. Sometimes the hidden room teaches not by what it contains but by how it ends, how it stops, how it becomes a question mark sunk in stone. It is notable that many of the voids we imagine are modest in scale, not palaces but pockets. Scale can mislead. Pocket can change what lies above it. A small gap can lighten a load. An unnoticed notch can drain water and save a wall. The hidden beneath is a web of such modesty. Things that matter hugely but do not announce themselves. If your life has ever been steadied by something small and unseen, a habit, a kindness, a repair no one notices, that is the same principle. The pyramids stand as they do because of both the grand plan and the hidden supports, just as a person stands because of both the big decisions and the quiet, daily choices. Our wandering steps take us now to a stillness near the base of Khafre's pyramid. The moon climbs a little higher. The edges of the stones grow pale and fine. A jackal passes at a distance, almost silent. You can feel the past as a presence not behind you, but under you, like a companion walking just below the surface. The word beneath invites fear sometimes, as if lower means darker, darker means dangerous. But here, beneath means sheltered. It means coolness, persistence, the slow keeping of promises. Sleep is a kind of beneath. We close our eyes and go down into our own chamber and wake carrying something we didn't have when we went under. Perhaps the builders knew this too, crafting the pyramid's underworld as a reflection of the human one. Think for a moment of the mathematics that live in these shadows. Angles chosen, alignments set, small adjustments made so that water would choose the path that hurts least, so that air would move enough to keep torches steady, so that weight would flow down into the rock like river water into sand. The hidden beneath is full of these invisible rivers, flows of pressure, of temperature, of circulation, that make the visible possible. If you were to draw them, you'd fill the pyramid and the bedrock with ghostly arrows, gentle currents of force and breath. No inscription tells you they are there. The stones themselves are the diagram. We might also remember that beneath is a place of storage. Not storage of objects only, but storage of time. Stone keeps time differently. It does not hurry. It does not worry. It keeps perfect faith with what it holds, whether that is the impression of a mason's line or the emptiness of an unfinished void. A chamber is a pocket of preserved time. One afternoon of work, one decision to stop, one season of focus. Folded away, kept cool, kept safe. Hidden beneath the pyramids are thousands of afternoons, and if you sit quietly enough, you can almost feel them opening and closing like the lungs of history. Listen again to your breath. Each inhale is an entrance passage. Each exhale is a descending corridor. The pause between is a room where the torch flickers but does not go out. If your thoughts wander, let them wander along a corridor and return when they're ready. There is no hurry. The pyramids have never hurried. At dawn, they simply stand. At dusk, they simply remain. And below, the stone simply keeps its counsel. From time to time, people bring new instruments to look beneath without digging. Waves and fields and clever measurements that let us sense voids, like seeing the outline of a fish beneath a river without ever touching the water. Sometimes the instruments find a pocket, and everyone leans in. Sometimes what is found is small, more air than chamber, more question than answer. That, too, is part of the hidden truth. Beneath is not a fixed map printed by the past for us to read. It is a conversation, and our questions shape what we can hear. The earth responds, but it does so in its own pace, in frequencies we must learn to listen to. If you could walk the whole plateau underground, if you could pass safely through every inspection shaft, every trench, every prepared terrace, every abandoned cut, you would not find a single room that contains the meaning of it all. Instead, you would find a pattern, a personality. Beneath the pyramids is a mind at work. Practical, patient, attentive, unafraid of the dark, respectful of the ground it lives on. It is a mind that begins, revises, begins again. It is a mind that knows the value of what cannot be seen, of what must be trusted. That mind is not a single person's. It is the collective intelligence of many hands across many years, crystallized in stone. Outside, the night deepens. The air cools enough that the first shiver of relief wanders across your shoulders. The stars sharpen. You can smell now the faint sweetness of something green traveling from the gardens along the old riverbanks. The perfume of life that still stubbornly grows where water lingers. The pyramids, simple in shape but endless in meaning, sit upon the earth that holds them. And the earth, with its modest rooms and careful cuts, holds us too. You are safe here, traveler. The hidden is not waiting to surprise you. It is waiting to accompany you, to remind you that foundations matter and that foundations are quiet. If you feel your eyes growing heavy, let them. If you feel your jaw soften, allow it. If sleep wants to come like a slow tide, let it find you on the smooth stones at the pyramid's base, with the ground beneath you firm and cool, with the knowledge that for all our questions, the underworld of Giza has already given us the wisdom it can. That strength requires support, that grandeur needs ground, that lasting things are built with attention both above and below. That is what is really hidden beneath the pyramids. No dramatic revelation, but a peaceful one. The hidden is the patience that makes the visible possible. It is the humility under the monument, the breath under the voice, the heartbeat under the story. And so, as we leave the desert to its stars, take with you the feel of limestone under your feet and the whisper of air in a passage that has not known sunlight for thousands of years. Take the idea that your own life, seen from above, is a set of clean lines and strong shapes, but that what lets it stand are the quiet rooms you maintain below, your rest, your breath, your practices of care. You can revisit them any time. You can descend that peaceful stair whenever you need to. For now, allow the night to gather you gently. There is nothing you must hold up, nothing you must figure out. The desert will keep its watch. The pyramids will keep their counsel. The earth will keep its foundations. You, too, may rest, calm, held, and easy, knowing that what lies beneath is doing its timeless work while you sleep. The desert night deepens, wrapping the Giza Plateau in a hush that feels almost eternal. Stars scatter across the black sky like fragments of ancient jewels, mirroring the golden glow of the pyramids below. The Great Sphinx, its weathered face unreadable, keeps its silent vigil, guarding secrets whispered through millennia. Beneath this timeless monument lies a labyrinth of chambers and passageways, some mapped, some rumored only in ancient texts, corridors that speak to a civilization far older and wiser than we often dare to imagine. Close your eyes and drift deeper, imagining the shifting sands being swept away. Beneath them, darkened staircases descend into the earth, where cool air clings to stone walls carved thousands of years ago. Archaeologists have explored some of these passages, but countless others remain sealed, their entrances hidden or lost to time. Legends tell of scrolls buried deep underground, chronicling knowledge that predates even the dynasties of the Pharaohs, maps of stars, engineering secrets, and wisdom from a forgotten age. In the stillness of these chambers, there are no sounds but the echo of your breath and the faint rustle of sand. Torches flicker, illuminating hieroglyphs etched by careful hands, messages from a world that believed deeply in eternity. Ancient priests may have walked these tunnels by torchlight, guarding sacred relics and performing rituals meant to protect their civilization's greatest treasures. Even today, much of what lies beneath Giza remains an enigma. Every scan of the pyramids and every excavation reveals more questions than answers. Now imagine standing before a sealed doorway. Its edges are perfectly smooth, fitted with impossible precision. Beyond it could be a burial chamber, or something entirely unexpected. Many believe there may be a hall of records, a mythical library said to hold the collective memory of an age before recorded history, a place where knowledge of lost civilizations rests in silence. Scientists debate, skeptics dismiss, yet the mystery endures, calling to us across thousands of years. Breathe deeply. Picture yourself gently tracing the carved symbols on the stone walls, feeling their ancient grooves beneath your fingertips. These markings are messages from hands that worked under moonlight and sun, under the watchful gaze of kings who dreamed of immortality. Above you, the Great Pyramid rises like a mountain of stone, aligning perfectly with the stars of Orion's belt, a cosmic map etched in architecture. These alignments suggest that the ancient Egyptians possessed an understanding of astronomy far beyond what history credits them with. Some researchers even propose that the pyramids are older than we think, perhaps predating the civilization we call ancient Egypt. Could these monuments be the remnants of an even earlier, forgotten era? The sand shifts with the wind, hiding secrets for another 1,000 years. Yet we stand at the edge of discovery. As you listen to the quiet, imagine the centuries passing in a blur. The great monuments weather storms, earthquakes, and empires, yet they endure. Beneath them, hidden chambers slumber undisturbed, their contents sealed by stone doors and the weight of history itself. Every grain of sand is a witness to time, Every stone a page in a book written long before humanity's collective memory. You step softly through these imagined corridors, your footsteps muffled by ancient dust. The air is cooler here, and it carries a scent of earth and age, as if time itself lingers in these tunnels. Ahead, faint light glows from a crack in the wall. Is it sunlight seeping through a hidden shaft? Or is it something older, a reflection of gold or crystal left untouched for thousands of years? Archaeologists have long debated the existence of hidden shafts within the Great Pyramid. Modern technology has revealed voids and hollow spaces that no one has yet explored. Could they be hiding artifacts, treasures, or sacred texts? Or perhaps they are symbolic, serving purposes we have yet to understand. These mysteries remind us that history is not static. It is alive, waiting for us to uncover its stories. With every discovery, new questions arise. Who built these pyramids, and why did they align them with celestial bodies? How did they achieve such precision, lifting and placing stones weighing tons with no modern machinery? Was this knowledge passed down from an earlier civilization, one lost to myth and time? Theories abound. Some suggest an advanced society before recorded history. Others imagine extraterrestrial visitors, while scholars remain cautious, pointing to ingenuity and engineering brilliance. Yet standing here, in your mind's eye, deep within these silent halls, even skepticism feels small. The scale of these wonders humbles us, inviting us to dream. Rest now. Let the images of torchlit corridors and starlit pyramids fill your mind. The mysteries of Giza are patient. They have waited thousands of years, and they will wait still. Tonight, you walk among them, a traveler through time, guided by whispers of the ancient world. The air beneath the Giza plateau feels heavy with memory, as if every stone has soaked in whispers from 1,000 generations. The deeper you descend, the cooler the corridors become, until your breath fogs faintly in the dim torchlight of your imagination. You step softly, and the echoes of your footsteps seem older than you are, bouncing gently down the carved hallways. Somewhere in the darkness ahead, water drips, a patient rhythm like the ticking of an ancient clock. The pyramids above are monuments to eternity, yet down here, eternity feels closer. Not a grand, overwhelming concept, but a quiet, steady presence that waits with infinite patience. Beneath these colossal structures lie chambers carved with precision that defies comprehension. Some rooms are smooth and perfectly square, their corners sharp, their floors polished. Others are rough, seemingly abandoned in the middle of construction, as though the builders simply vanished, leaving their work for future generations to find. Archaeologists have uncovered shafts plunging deep into the earth, some lined with footholds where workers once climbed, carrying tools and torches. Others descend into darkness and water, their true purpose still unknown. These vertical tunnels feel like gateways, not only to lower levels of the pyramid but to deeper layers of mystery. Imagine standing at the bottom of one such shaft. Above you, a square of pale sky glimmers faintly, impossibly far away. The silence down here is profound, the kind that presses gently against your ears until you can hear your own heartbeat. This silence is not emptiness. It is full of the presence of time itself, dense and unmoving. You place a hand on the stone wall, tracing grooves made thousands of years ago by hands no different from yours. For a moment, time collapses. You are no longer a visitor. You are a witness. You are part of the same story that began when the first stone was cut from the bedrock and hauled into place. The ancient Egyptians believed deeply in the afterlife, and their monuments reflect this devotion. The pyramid was not simply a tomb. It was a machine of eternity, a bridge between the earthly and the divine. Its hidden passages were designed with symbolic meaning, descending corridors representing the journey into the underworld, ascending passages symbolizing resurrection and ascent to the stars. Inscriptions in other tombs, though sparse in the Great Pyramid itself, speak of gods guiding the soul through challenges and trials, through shadow and flame, until it reached the field of reeds, a paradise where life continued eternally. Beneath the pyramids, every chamber and corridor was a part of this sacred journey. The builders were not only engineers but storytellers, writing a cosmic tale in stone. Close your eyes now and picture a burial procession thousands of years ago. Priests in white linen robes chant softly, their voices echoing against polished walls. Torches flicker, casting long shadows as they lead the procession deeper into the pyramid. Incense curls through the air, filling the tunnels with the scent of myrrh and cedar. The sarcophagus, carved from a single massive block of granite, glides on wooden sleds. Every movement is careful, reverent. At last, it is lowered into a chamber, perfectly measured to hold it, a chamber that will remain sealed for millennia. The priests whisper blessings, sealing the doorway behind them. Darkness falls, and the chamber becomes a time capsule, holding its secret long after the kingdom that built it has fallen to dust. Even in modern times, with scanning technology and robotic cameras, much of what lies beneath the pyramids remains a mystery. Scientists have detected voids and hidden rooms that no human has yet entered. Every discovery brings excitement, but also humility. The ancients built with such precision that even the most advanced tools struggle to unravel their secrets. The Great Pyramid's alignment with true north is nearly perfect, and its base is level within fractions of an inch. How did they achieve such feats without modern machinery? How did they transport and place blocks weighing up to 80 tons? These questions echo in every tunnel, every stairway, every chamber, as if the pyramids themselves are content to keep some of their answers forever. There are legends, whispered for centuries, about a hall of records buried beneath the Sphinx, a vast library containing knowledge of a forgotten civilization, perhaps even one that predates Egypt itself. Scholars debate whether such a place could exist, but the mystery persists, fueled by stories passed down through generations. The Sphinx, with its enigmatic smile, seems to guard this secret fiercely, its massive paws resting on ground that may conceal corridors leading deep into the bedrock. Standing before it at night, bathed in moonlight, you can feel the weight of that possibility pressing gently on your imagination. As you walk through this dreamscape of corridors and shadows, remember that the true treasure beneath the pyramids is not gold or jewels, but knowledge. The walls themselves are a record of engineering brilliance, spiritual devotion, and a connection to the cosmos that humbles us even today. These spaces, though often empty, are alive with meaning. Each block was placed with purpose, each passage aligned with intention. The ancient Egyptians were not merely building monuments. They were building a bridge between earth and sky, life and death, time and eternity. The longer you linger here, the more you feel the heartbeat of this ancient place. It is slow and steady, like the flow of the Nile in its prime, a rhythm that has outlived dynasties and empires. The sands above may shift, the world may change, but beneath, in these cool and silent halls, everything remains. You are standing in a space where time folds in on itself, where the past and present exist side by side. The stones remember, the air remembers, and for a few moments so do you. Let your mind wander deeper into the darkness, where imagination and reality intertwine. Picture secret doors hidden behind massive blocks, discovered only by those who knew the exact mechanism to release them. Imagine narrow passages too small for a person to crawl through, designed only for the movement of air, or perhaps for something symbolic like the journey of a soul. These pyramids are not simply structures. They are puzzles, stories told in geometry and stone, waiting for the patient listener to understand. As your footsteps echo through the underground passages, you begin to sense that this labyrinth was not built simply as a tomb, but as a reflection of something far greater. The Egyptians believed in Ma'at, balance, harmony, and cosmic order, and their pyramids were designed to mirror these principles. The precise alignment of the Great Pyramid with the cardinal directions and with the stars of Orion and Sirius speaks to a worldview where earth and sky were deeply connected. To them, the afterlife was not a distant dream but a continuation of life's journey, and the pyramid was the key to this eternal voyage. Picture yourself standing in the grand gallery of the Great Pyramid. The ceiling soars high above you, stones stacked in perfect corbel arches, forming a hallway that feels like a cathedral of stone. The air is cool, silent, and dense, as if holding its breath. The gallery leads upward, toward the king's chamber, a room of astonishing precision, constructed from massive granite blocks brought from quarries hundreds of miles away. The chamber is empty now, save for a single sarcophagus, but imagine it thousands of years ago, lit by flickering lamps, filled with the chanting of priests. The polished walls would have glimmered in the light, creating an otherworldly atmosphere as the pharaoh's body was placed to rest within. Every angle, every block, every shaft within the pyramid carries meaning. The shafts extending from the king's chamber point toward specific stars, Orion's belt, associated with Osiris, the god of the afterlife, and Sirius, tied to Isis, the goddess of rebirth. These alignments may have been intended to guide the soul of the pharaoh to the heavens, transforming him into an immortal star, a divine being among the gods. For the ancient Egyptians, the stars were more than distant lights in the sky. They were destinations, and the pyramid was a cosmic launch point. Now, let your mind drift to the Sphinx, crouched eternally at the edge of the Giza Plateau. Its expression is enigmatic, neither smiling nor frowning, its eyes fixed on some distant horizon. Some believe that the Sphinx is far older than the pyramids, its weathered body bearing signs of erosion caused by heavy rainfall, an indication that it might have been carved during a wetter period of Earth's history, thousands of years earlier than Egyptologists typically claim. If this theory is true, then the Sphinx may be a relic from a lost chapter of human civilization, a guardian of secrets older than history itself. Beneath its massive paws, radar scans have revealed anomalies, potential chambers or voids that remain unexplored. What lies within them? Perhaps nothing more than natural cavities, or perhaps a hidden archive of ancient wisdom. Imagine a secret door hidden beneath the sands, revealed only when the sun strikes it at a certain angle during the equinox. Behind it, a long, narrow passage leads to a vast underground library, walls lined with stone tablets, scrolls preserved in sealed containers, knowledge from a forgotten age waiting to be rediscovered. Though no such library has ever been confirmed, this idea has persisted for centuries, a story passed down from ancient Greece to the modern era. The Hall of Records, as it is called in legend, is said to contain the origins of humanity itself, a chronicle of civilizations long vanished beneath time's relentless tide. As you explore these possibilities in your mind, the corridors become a dreamscape. The sand above is silent, and the stars glitter in a sky that has changed little over millennia. Generations have come and gone, yet the pyramids endure. They have seen empires rise and fall. They have watched as entire languages were forgotten, only to be rediscovered centuries later. These monuments are more than stone. They are a dialogue between the past and the present, a message carved into the earth itself. Walk slowly now, imagining each detail, the sound of your breath, the coolness of the granite beneath your fingertips, the faint smell of ancient dust and stone. The Great Pyramid is not empty, though it may seem so. It is filled with purpose, its very geometry humming with meaning. Some researchers have theorized that its structure resonates at certain frequencies, creating a natural vibration that amplifies energy. Others see it as a symbol of perfection, a mathematical and architectural masterpiece designed to reflect the order of the cosmos. Whether practical or symbolic, or perhaps both, the pyramid is a reminder of a time when humanity reached for eternity with every stone it placed. Consider the workers who built these marvels. Thousands of laborers, artisans, and engineers dedicated their lives to the construction of these eternal monuments. They were not slaves, as once believed, but skilled workers, well-fed and organized, part of a workforce that operated with precision and discipline. Camps discovered near the pyramids reveal evidence of bread ovens, breweries, and medical care, proof that these workers were valued and cared for. Their names are inscribed on the stones they placed, hidden signatures of the hands that shaped history. These pyramids were a labor of love, devotion, and profound cultural belief. Beneath the grandeur, beneath the myths, there is also a deeply human story. The pyramids are not just monuments to kings but monuments to humanity's eternal quest to understand the universe. They are a mirror reflecting both the glory and the fragility of our species. A reminder that even in the face of mortality, we seek meaning, permanence, and connection. The ancient Egyptians carved their aspirations into stone, aligning their dreams with the stars, hoping their voices would echo across eternity. And they have. Now, let yourself sink into the rhythm of this story. The torches flicker softly in the tunnels of your imagination, casting shadows that dance along the walls. The wind outside whistles across the desert, carrying whispers of forgotten prayers. In the stillness, you can almost hear the murmur of ancient priests, the creak of wooden sledges dragging massive stones, the distant roar of the Nile in its glory days. Time blurs, and for a moment, you stand at the intersection of past and present, feeling the weight of thousands of years pressing gently around you. Every step deeper into the pyramid is a step deeper into mystery. The deeper you go, the less certain the line between reality and legend becomes. Perhaps some secrets are meant to stay buried. Perhaps the pyramids hold truths that would reshape our understanding of history. Or perhaps their greatest power lies in their mystery itself, a reminder that not everything in this world can be explained. And so, you walk these silent halls in your mind, tracing your fingers over the cool stone, breathing in the stillness. Above you, the stars shine as they did for the ancient builders. The desert stretches endlessly in every direction, and the Sphinx keeps its eternal watch, guarding whatever secrets lie beneath. Whether we ever uncover every passage, every chamber, every hidden library, one thing remains certain. These monuments will continue to whisper across the ages, inviting those who seek truth to look closer, to dream deeper, and to listen to the voice of eternity carved in stone. Beyond the pyramid walls, the desert breathes, a vast ocean of sand that has swallowed kingdoms and kept their stories locked away. Imagine standing there at dawn, watching the first light touch the golden stones, warming them as it has for thousands of years. The air is still, and yet it feels alive, humming with a quiet energy that no amount of modern science can fully capture. The Giza Plateau has seen everything: wars, dynasties, explorers, archaeologists, and dreamers. Yet it remains a riddle, offering only glimpses of its secrets to those who dare to search. Now, drift back to a time long before the pharaohs, before the hieroglyphs were carved, before the world we know even existed. Some theories suggest that Giza's monuments might have been built on foundations far older than we think. The ancient Egyptians themselves spoke of a first time, Zep-Tepi, when gods or godlike beings walked the earth and shared knowledge with humanity. Could these tales be mere mythology, or do they contain fragments of forgotten history? We may never know for certain, but as you listen to the wind moving through the stones, it's easy to believe there is more to this place than what textbooks tell us. The sands themselves are keepers of history. Beneath them, archaeologists have uncovered tombs, hidden boats buried for the pharaoh's journey through the afterlife, and entire cities where the builders of these monuments lived. Even today, ground-penetrating radar scans reveal anomalies, unexplored voids and chambers sealed away since the time of the pyramid's construction. Some of these hidden spaces have been explored, others remain mysteries. Perhaps they contain treasures or ancient blueprints or nothing at all. But the allure of the unknown keeps drawing people back, century after century. Picture yourself descending further underground, your torchlight revealing intricate carvings of falcons, ankhs, and gods with animal heads. The air feels ancient, as though it hasn't moved in thousands of years. You step into a cavernous space, and your footsteps echo softly. Here, deep beneath the pyramid, you sense the weight of eternity pressing down. The builders intended this place to last forever, and somehow it has. While empires crumbled and cities were lost to time, these monuments have remained, silent and steadfast. Above ground, the pyramids align perfectly with the stars of Orion's belt. This alignment wasn't accidental. It was intentional, a reflection of their belief in the connection between earth and sky. To the ancient Egyptians, Orion represented Osiris, the god of resurrection, and the constellation was a beacon for the soul of the departed pharaoh. Every stone, every chamber, every angle of the pyramid was meticulously planned, not just as a tomb, but as a bridge between the world of the living and the afterlife. Think of the engineering. Millions of limestone blocks, each weighing several tons, were transported, lifted, and placed with a precision that still baffles modern experts. We can theorize about ramps, counterweights, and pulleys, but the truth is no definitive answer has ever been found. The pyramids remain architectural marvels, achievements that challenge our understanding of what ancient civilizations were capable of. Even with today's technology, building a replica of the Great Pyramid would be a monumental task. And yet, these ancient people achieved it thousands of years ago, guided only by their knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, and determination. Let your mind wander further, imagining the rituals that might have taken place here. Priests in white linen robes, chanting prayers in the flickering torchlight, carrying sacred artifacts into hidden chambers. The smell of burning incense would have filled the air, mingling with the cool scent of the limestone. Outside, the Nile flowed, its waters reflecting the moonlight, while the pyramids rose like stairways to the heavens. For the Egyptians, death was not an end but a transformation, a continuation of the soul's eternal journey. The pyramid was both a resting place and a vessel for that voyage. Over thousands of years, the Giza Plateau has inspired countless legends. Some believe the pyramids hide advanced technologies, devices capable of harnessing energy from the earth or stars. Others believe they are markers left by a lost civilization, evidence of an age older and wiser than our own. Whether or not these theories hold truth, there is no denying the aura of mystery these monuments carry. Even skeptics feel a sense of awe standing before them, humbled by their size, precision, and endurance. Now imagine the Sphinx once again, its gaze unchanging, its body partially buried in sand for most of recorded history. When explorers first uncovered it, they found only its head protruding from the dunes. Today, even with modern tools, the full history of this guardian remains elusive. Erosion patterns suggest it may have been carved when the Sahara was lush and green, a time so distant that its memory is lost to history. Some believe secret chambers lie beneath it, sealed away since the dawn of civilization. Perhaps one day exploration will reveal them. Until then, the Sphinx keeps its secrets, its silent face a reminder of humanity's eternal curiosity. As you wander through this story, let yourself feel the weight of time. Thousands of years have passed, yet these monuments remain. They are older than Rome, older than Greece, older than the very languages we speak today. Standing among them, you realize that human history is both vast and fragile. We build, we dream, we create, and we leave behind traces of ourselves, hoping they will endure. The pyramids are proof that such dreams can become reality. Now, let the sound of the desert lull you. The whisper of wind through the stones becomes a lullaby. The stars above shine as they did for the pharaohs. The pyramids rise like ancient mountains, their secrets still intact, their mysteries still unsolved. You are connected to all who came before you, the builders, the priests, the explorers, and the dreamers, all who stood in awe of these wonders. In this stillness, the past feels alive, and the future stretches out before you like the endless desert. As you drift towards sleep, imagine yourself walking through a grand underground gallery, its walls lined with hieroglyphs that glow faintly in the torchlight. The deeper you go, the more you feel the presence of something eternal. Maybe it's the weight of history. Maybe it's the echo of prayers whispered thousands of years ago. Or maybe it's the silent voice of the pyramids themselves. A message carved in stone, waiting for the world to listen. You reach a chamber deep beneath the earth and pause. The air is heavy, still, and sacred. You place your hand against the cool stone and close your eyes. Above you, the Great Pyramid towers into the night sky, its apex once crowned with shining white limestone, glowing like a star. Around you, the desert stretches endlessly, a sea of golden dunes, hiding countless secrets beneath its surface. And there, in this moment, you feel it, the timelessness, the mystery, the hum of eternity. The pyramids may never reveal all their secrets, but they don't need to. Their power lies in their mystery, in their ability to remind us that some questions are meant to linger, like whispers carried on the desert wind. As you take a deep breath and exhale slowly, let yourself drift deeper into this ancient dream. Let the weight of the pyramids cradle you in silence, and know that you are safe, suspended in history's embrace. Sleep now under the gaze of the Sphinx, beneath the shadow of the pyramids. Their secrets will keep, as they have for thousands of years. And perhaps, in dreams, you will wander their hidden halls, walk where no one has walked for millennia, and glimpse the truth that history guards so carefully. Rest easy, for time itself seems to stand still here, holding you in its quiet, eternal arms.